Hello there. Okay, cool. All right. Got God, I'm like not with the live streaming anymore. Um, gotta share to social media and then draw things. Also some stuff. Okay. What Taylor Swift posted to her story again? Oh, it's just another thing to pre-order Midnights. I see. Okay. See, I'm gonna screenshot like here. I'll be all fancy. Screenshot. Haha. Thumbnail. Then I'll get the link. Wow, I'm so fancy. But yeah, welcome if anyone is here yet. Hold, I just realized I can't even see the chat. Hey, what's up, Aaron? I am doing all right. I last night I saw Rogue One in IMAX, so if anyone wants to talk about Rogue One, it's fresh on my mind. But yeah, how are you doing, Aaron? I also just finished reading Rebel Rising, which was nice because I think it added a lot to Rogue One. Mm, oof, I got a okay link. I'm trying to be faster at sharing it this to social media, but um, yeah, I'm not perfect. Okay, let's do Discord. Got to make sure to wait for that to upload. Um, oh, really? I I forgot that. I'm sorry, but um, yeah, I know, right, Aaron? I was not expecting that announcement. But okay, so Rogue One is the only Star Wars movie you've seen like at all. I'm curious to know what you thought of it, considering you don't know the films surrounding it and you don't know like what happens to the Death Star plans, you know? Um, okay, gotta share on Discord then. I'm good to go with drawing. Which, by the way, what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna draw a stormtrooper down here. I'm trying to make my drawings more complicated and draw like actual scenes instead of just a portrait now. I'm sure I'll still do some that are like just portraits still, but yeah, I'm just trying to do more and challenge myself and stuff. And it's fun. Almost ready. Hold on, hold on. Uh, cool. All right, all right. Let's actually draw. Um, yeah. Thank you, Aaron. I mean, I just like doing a lot of creative things. You really liked it, but also had a friend answer. Oh, hold on. My microphone might be better positioned here, I think. You really liked it, but also had a friend answer your questions in the theater, so you do feel bad because you were chatting people in the theater on camera. You know what was the worst when I saw it last night? I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but someone brought their baby into the theater, and I just think like, why would you do that? The baby was making noises the entire time. Thankfully, it was a very loud theater, and it's generally a pretty loud movie, so it drowned out the baby for most of the time, but still, it's like, I think it was either in the row right behind us or maybe two rows back, someone had a baby that was constantly making noises throughout the whole movie. Okay. Yeah, Aaron. Um, yeah. I would just feel like it might be weird to watch that and not watch a New Hope right afterwards because that movie takes place afterwards and it shows like what actually happens to the Death Star plans and how the rebels use them. Yeah, I've never had someone kicking my seat. That would be awful. Also, I mean, people being on their phones is just bad too. Okay. So yeah, I want to add a stormtrooper over here. Two reasons for that. One, I just want to add more things in here. And two, I want to make it usable as a meme so that it can look kind of like the distracted boyfriend meme. So there needs to be something here to be something that Kanan is being distracted from. Cause yeah, when I was gathering my reference pictures, I'm like, oh my god, it looks like the meme. See, these are. Oops, hold on. Maybe if I turn the screen brightness down, you can see it easier. Can you not? These are my reference pictures, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like that. Okay, sounds good, Aaron. Okay. It was actually hard to find a stormtrooper pose that wasn't like a pose, because I just wanted the stormtrooper to kind of like blend into the background and not be doing something too eye-catching or obvious. So I ended up, this is from a photo of some like cosplay event in real life. So it's just a stormtrooper kind of like walking a little bit, like looking away from the camera. Just wanted to blend into the background of the scene. So that's what it's gonna be. I need to draw a new grid for him though. that enough? How much? Five, six, seven, eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need one more square. But yeah, I think I'm gonna draw like the sketch of the stormtrooper. Then I think I'm gonna move on to the first thing I'll shade, which I think I'll do Kanan's face first, and then I'll probably do Hera's face. But yeah, so Taylor Swift. We're just gonna do a Jedi's Knowledge live stream all about Taylor Swift. It's fine. Um, so she won an award, I guess was the MTV Awards. She won it for the All Too Well music video. I wonder if they tell people they're going to win ahead of time or not. Because, like, if she didn't win, would she still have announced the album? Like, probably not. So, did she have multiple plans? Like, one for if she won and one if she didn't? I don't know. But, anyways, it's not a re recording, it's a brand new album called Midnights. It has exactly 13 tracks, which is actually, it's one of the shorter Taylor Swift albums. Hey, what's up, Sheev? Perfect that we have Sheev Taylor's version here to talk about Midnights instead of Star Wars. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. So yeah, anyways, I was just starting to talk about Midnights. So I think it's really interesting reading what she posted about it. It's like a concept album basically is what it seems to me. And each song is about a different midnight that takes place at different points throughout her life. So I think that's going to be really interesting, especially as fans of like all of her previous albums. We're going to get songs that have stories that take place within, you know, the larger story of her life at these different points. I wonder what she's going to do with genre in it, like, because she could do something where she like has a bunch of different genres and um they sort of like correlate with the genres of her album at the time. I think that would be cool if like the album starts off with, you know, with some songs about young Taylor and they sound like her first few country albums. And then as she gets older, they're more pop. And then as they get more recent, they're like Folklore and Evermore. That would be really cool. Like at the end, it's like Folklore and Evermore vibes. But I don't know. I would assume she'd probably still be working with Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner, who produced Folklore, Evermore, and songs on the re-recordings. She seems to like working with them. Okay, there. Yeah, I mean, I hope she works with them at least because I really like how they have produced her songs. Um, hey, I'll talk about whatever is like relevant to the people currently viewing. So it doesn't have to be about Star Wars, but also, um, yeah, Sheev. I watched Rogue One again, so if anyone wants to talk about Rogue One, like it's fresh on my mind right now. I don't think I had seen it in at least 2 or 3 years, and Rogue One was not one of my favorites. I Not that I didn't like it at all, but in terms of, like as a Star Wars movie, it was definitely one of my least favorites when it first came out. I just thought that the characters could have been fleshed out better. I didn't feel all that like attached to them really. Although the cinematography and the action is like really great. And that's something I kind of focused on more this time, especially seeing it on a massive screen. It really stuck out as just like, yeah, Rogue One is the best looking Star Wars movie for sure. And I enjoyed the story more this time too. I think reading Catalyst and Rebel Rising helped for sure. But yeah, I mean, I just tried to focus more on what was going on and the characters and stuff. And I don't think the characters are terrible. Do I think they could have been better? Yeah. But yeah. So I feel much more positive about it now than I used to, but it's definitely still not like one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Has your favorite third act, but the characters are a little empty? Yeah. And you know what? That's one of the things that's great about them making the new series about Cassian is that we're going to have him fleshed out more, and then in the future when we rewatch Rogue One, we'll have all this new context. And it'll, I think it'll make it a lot more interesting to watch. Did I do that right? Yeah, what I'm doing right now, Sheev, I'm drawing a grid for I'm gonna draw a stormtrooper here in the background. And I kind of want to make him like maybe like a little bit less detailed. Because part of me wants to like make the background slightly blurry to have Kanan and Hera in focus, so I don't need to do the most details. I mean, also just because Kanan and Hera are meant to be the focus of this. Um, yeah. Concept albums are like my favorite type of albums to listen to. Just, I mean, as an album where the whole album tells some sort of a like cohesive story or theme or something. Um, I don't know if any of you guys are Linkin Park fans, but Linkin Park is probably like my second favorite artist of all time. And my favorite album of theirs is A Thousand Suns, which is a concept album, and I don't know if opinions have changed very much since it came out, but when it came out, like most of the fans hated it, and I felt like I was kind of like alone in liking it, but I think more Linkin Park fans like the album these days, but yeah, I guess I'm kind of a hipster for liking that one the most. Um, Hold on, let me read everything else. Yeah, I could see how in a way it would be like Red, but I mean, Red still focuses on like a specific time period in her life though. And this, I think it's going to focus on her whole life basically, like from every album era she's previously had. Um, but yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. And I wonder, because I mean, obviously she's very good at songwriting, but I wonder how she's going to just do 13 different songs that are all taking place at midnight, but make each one feel different. And I'm sure she'll pull it off. But I'm just thinking, like, if I tried to approach that, I don't think I could do it. But yeah. Thoughts on Rebels? I'm actually rewatching Rebels right now. I'm early in season two. I think I'm four, no, 5 episodes into season two on my rewatch. I've seen the whole thing before, of course. I like Rebels a lot, and the first time that I saw it, I didn't like season one very much. This time, I actually like season one a lot more. So yeah, um I don't like Rebels as much as the Clone Wars, which is my favorite Star Wars animated series, and I mean it's my favorite Star Wars thing, period. But Rebels is definitely up there as another one of my like top favorite Star Wars projects. But like not as high up as the Clone Wars. I really I like all the characters. I like I just like how like Dave Filoni when he makes his animated shows, he tends to have a lot of like variety to the episodes. He can have episodes about like a bunch of kind of different random things and it just like fleshes out the world of Star Wars in a really fun way, I think. Maybe, I don't know about the album full of vault tracks because it sounds to me like she wrote all of the songs recently. If it was an album full of vault tracks, then each one would have been written um, while she was going through the thing. And maybe it is. I don't know. She hasn't released that much information on it yet. I want your midnight. Oh, actually, I didn't need to draw the line that far, but I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day. Yeah, but I mean, uh, I wonder if she's going to release any singles. Part of me gets the feeling like she won't. Um, since it is a concept album, it might just be better to experience all of it at the same time, you know? As much as it'll hurt more to wait without even getting a taste of what it's like. Okay, so this is my stormtrooper I'm drawing. It's some random person in a costume at some like cosplay event, but I needed a good picture of a stormtrooper that wasn't doing like an obvious like showy pose because the stormtrooper's not supposed to be the focus. They're supposed to be blending into the background, just kind of naturally there on Gorse. That's what planet this is supposed to be. This is from the book A New Dawn. That's when Kanan and Hera meet. So this drawing, it's supposed to be them 6 years before Rebels and 8 years after the Bad Batch. I think Hera is supposed to be 18 and Kanan is supposed to be 22 at the time of this scene I'm drawing. And Gorse is actually a pretty cool planet. So it's tidally locked with its sun, which means it doesn't rotate around the sun. So one side of the planet is always facing the sun, and the other side is always facing away. So the side that's facing the sun is like extremely hot, and it's not habitable. The side that's facing away, though, it is habitable, and that's where everyone lives. But they don't live in total darkness because Gorse has a moon, which is, I don't know, maybe I should turn up the contrast so you can see it better since I'm just doing the light sketch for now. But basically, Gorse has a moon called Cinda, and it's a large moon that's almost big enough to be like its own planet. But light reflects off of Cinda and kind of gives Gorse some light. So, yeah. And it's also a good excuse to draw a giant moon in the sky. Okay, what am I doing? Configure video. When I turn up the contrast, it's like the light is shining on one part more than the other, and you can, it's more like, it's more obvious. Hmm. Oh! Okay, I guess I need that to be there. One part is just going to be blown out up here, but I mean, I haven't really drawn anything there yet, so. I guess that's fine. Does it look better? It's easier to just see what things are. It's kind of weird with the light. Some of it is too bright still. Let me actually, yeah, let me change it. But yeah, it's better. I'm going to, well, that brightness setting is weird. Oh. Okay, well, that makes that part of the drawing better, but just the light in that. So I'm going to be drawing down here right now. If I kept the drawing more over here, it might be easier to see the whole thing. Okay. Maybe. Actually, yeah. For the part I'm going to be drawing on, that's the easiest way to see it right here, I guess. Um, yeah, I'm guessing the person who came up with the Gorse system concept, it's probably just the author of that book, John Jackson Miller. Cool. All right, Stormtrooper, prepare to be drawn. By the way, should I have music playing in the background, or is it better to not have music? Uh, I'm drawing on the tape. This won't even be in it, but I just need to know where things are. So, boot. These squares are not like perfectly even too, so might be a bit of a misshapen Stormtrooper a little bit.
Who are you talking to?
People on the live stream. I've actually I took a 3D animation class in high school, and I I modeled Darth Vader and a stormtrooper and a few other things. Like I modeled a Star Destroyer and a TIE Fighter and the Death Star for a little animated short film thing that I made. So I've actually done a stormtrooper before in a way, but it was in 3D and it was like years ago. Okay, sounds good, Sheev. I think Aaron is doing laundry, so it all works. It's easier for me to have the reference over here. Let's see. Maybe that's good for showing what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of trying to get like the rough shaping of everything right here. Might need to add more squares up here. I don't know. This is probably enough. I'm not sure how tall he goes. But when I put together my references for something like this, I go into Photoshop and I like overlay all of the images to make sure they fit together how I want. So it's like it's cool because it's like in a way, even though it is physical art, it's kind of digital art at the same time, at least in terms of planning it. Stormtrooper butt. Also, as I do this, I'm gonna erase what I had drawn behind him already, so I don't get confused. Um, I don't, Aaron. I'd like to, but uh, I I want to go to school more and just learn more because I think I want to work in film. I might want to work in music too or writing or something. And I've been getting into drawing more like over the summer a lot, so I don't know. I mean, I just like doing a lot of things. Just got to figure out what where to go in terms of like career wise, you know? Part of me has been thinking maybe I'll start doing commissions for drawings, but I also worry like, what if I'm not good enough to draw something that someone wants? Because like, I mean, for now at least, everything I do is like based on references, and I draw like grids, so I don't know. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I could just like let people know like, yeah, this is my style, this is how I draw, so don't ask me to do something more complicated because I can't do it. Okay, then once I get like the basic shapes down, I will erase my grid. In fact, I'll probably erase all the grids I currently have on here. I don't think I need them anymore because the background can be kind of rough. That's based off of a different reference. You took a script writing workshop recently. It was fun knowing that I write more like a novelist than for film. Oh, that's interesting. Part of me wonders if I would be better at writing for film. Because I think, like, to be a novelist, you have to have really good prose. And of course, I could train myself to be better, but I feel like if I were to write a novel right now, like, I would use the same word to describe things like too many times and stuff like that. Like, I need a more diverse vocabulary and stuff. But I mean, I'm sure it just comes with practice. I've done a little bit of like short story writing and stuff. Yeah, maybe I will, Aaron. There's a lot of like specific drawings that I want to do right now still. So maybe once I get through more of those, um, I could start doing commissions. I don't know if enough people would pay for them because I don't know how much I would charge yet. Because I would probably charge a lot because these drawings, like, I spend a ton of hours on them. So you got to think, like, okay, if I was being paid per hour, and how many hours on average do these take? Like, I don't know. Nice. We made it to the top of the head without having to draw more grid there. Yeah, I mean, I could start out even saying, like, I will draw a Star Wars character as an actor, and then people could submit, like, whatever they want. Well, I mean, with paying me too, of course. Have to compensate for my uneven squares that I drew here. Can you guys see him yet, kind of? I will, once I get the basic shapes down, I will erase more and stuff, and it'll look better. Because, like, how much would someone be willing to pay for a Star Wars character drawing as well? Like, I don't know. I guess it at least partially depends on the person and wait, did I draw that right? Yeah. Kind of depends on the person and how much money they have to spend on it. how much they're willing to spend for it, how much they value getting a certain character drawn or whatever. What the heck? Why am I losing track of where I am here? So that's there. Yeah, I know of Fiverr. James Gurney. I'm not sure if I've heard of him or not. There's a guy, I think his name is Tyler Mowry. I've watched some of his screenwriting videos before. He makes good videos. If I even got the name right, I don't know. Writing for TV or film, you have to tell the camera what it will be seeing in the frame, and then the dialogue, which is tricky because you have to think about what people in real life say. Yeah, I've like read a few scripts just out of interest and stuff. Yeah, I could do editing too. It's a lot of things I could do. Do I know the channel The Future? I don't, but I could look it up. So, yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Mm, that goes there. And I should also ask my sister because she's had some experience selling art that she's made before. Okay, I think yeah, that's basically it. All right, I'm gonna erase all the grids I've left. And I don't have to get them perfectly because I did them so light that whatever I do over it, it's gonna just block it out anyways, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, if I did commissions, like I was saying, part of my worry would just be that like I would set the whole thing up and then no one would buy them. All right, let's see. There's my stormtrooper. Oh, actually, you know what? I missed a part. After I erased the grid. Oh well. Also, that needs to be bigger. Okay, you can see some of his like other arm here. Eh? Yeah. I could even slightly darken the parts that are not the white armor. Yeah. Ooh yeah. Stormtrooper. Um. Oh no. Okay, plug your ears, Sheev. But I a long time ago I watched seasons 1 and 2 of Doctor Who, and like I kind of liked it, but I ended up stop watching the show because I got really irritated by the fact that it seemed like the solution to every episode was some like random thing you would have never thought of, and it just made the show have like no tension for me. But I mean, I like the character of the Doctor and like the humor in it. But yeah. Yeah, I watched I forgot what his name was. But I think the ninth Doctor was in season 1, and then the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, was in season 2. Um, it's you're asking if I live in a creative household. It's interesting because me and my sister are both very creative, but our parents aren't really. My grandma, one of them was creative. She was a painter. So I guess that's where we get it or something. But also, I kind of think everyone is at least a little bit creative. And some people lose it when they grow up. So I like to keep being creative and just keep doing me, keep watching movies and doing what I think is fun and all that. Oh, also, I don't like having this ship in the background right next to her face. That's where it is in the reference, but I don't like having something so close to her face. It just looks weird to me. Bye-bye ship. Let's redraw the ship here? Yeah, between these rocks, we'll just have some... I don't know what shape the ship is, which is... It's in the distance. Who cares? We are destroying all grids. Then we're going to work on Kanan's face. I want to do his face first because if I do Hera's face first, then my hand is going to be like right over it when I work on his, and I don't want to like smudge her face. So she has a little bit of grid left on her, which is fine. It'll get blended in, I guess. But yeah, I think I want to shade them first just to make sure I get it all right, and then I'll do the background last. I don't know if you can see, this is supposed to be a person walking in the background too, but not very detailed, just kind of there. Yeah, I'm happy with how Kanan and Hera's facial expressions have turned out so far. Hopefully I don't lose any of that. I like using canned air to blow away like eraser shavings and stuff, because it's more risky if I use my hand. I might smear something. And what's even worse is blowing on it, because you could spit on it. Cool. I like my stormtrooper there. And I like my silhouette of a Star Destroyer and TIE Fighters. I think that'll look pretty cool against the moon once it's all shaded in. Let's see, let me read everything here. We love and stand a multi-talented king. Thank you, Aaron. Maybe you can sell digital prints of your artwork on Etsy. Yeah, you know what? That would not be a bad idea of artwork that I've like already done. And I wouldn't have to charge as much as for a commission, because I mean, for a commission, you're paying for hours of work, and that would just be selling prints, you know? Maybe do a reimagined Star Wars poster of different films, but to your own style. I'm thinking of doing for that, Aaron, is I want to like draw a Rebels poster, but all the characters in like live action. But I should probably wait a year to do that. Just to because I'm pretty certain that that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is gonna be Hera, but the rest of the Rebels gang, I mean, oh, and obviously Sabine, we know she's Natasha Lubordizo, but the other characters, it's just too much guesswork, and I'll probably be wrong on a bunch of them. I know, like, a lot of people think or I don't know if they think he's gonna play him, but a lot of people want the guy who played live action Aladdin to play Ezra, which I think is, I mean, I think it's kind of silly. Like, yes, he looks the part, but it's just silly to me because back when Rebels first came out, everyone was saying that that Ezra looked like Aladdin. So if the live action Aladdin actor plays Ezra too, that's just gonna be hilarious. But I mean, yeah, he looks like him. I haven't seen any movies that he's in. I think Mina Massoud is his name. I haven't seen anything he's in, and I refuse to watch the Disney live action remakes. I don't like the concept at all, so I'm not gonna watch Aladdin. Um, yeah. But that's not a bad idea, Aaron. Christopher Eccleston. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's best to wait until Ahsoka is out for that. Okay, so all right, since I'm going to be shading now, I think I'm going to reset all this. Why is it so dark though? What the heck? I guess I gotta change that. Oh, there we go. Auto exposure was turned off. Yeah, Sheev, I'm excited too. I'm a little bit more excited for like the shows about more like new characters and stuff. I mean Andor is mostly going to be about new characters and things that we haven't seen before. I'm really excited for Andor, and I'm also quite excited for. Hold on, I'm gonna erase this ship too because it's too close to the Star Destroyer. It throws it all off. I'm the Acolyte. I'm also very excited for that, just because like it's gonna be entirely new characters, other than potentially a cameo from like Yoda or Yaddle or Yariel Poof, one of the like really old Jedi who was alive 100 years before the prequels. But other than that, completely new characters. I think it's gonna be really cool to see like a whole new era. All right, sounds good, Aaron. Thanks for coming in and chatting and all that. Also, I need to do more than one bird. Let's do two. They can be friends. They can be lovebirds, just like Kanan and Hera. This really is a romance genre drawing. Okay, actually, I gotta figure some things out here. So, I got some new pencils and I was testing them out, and I want to set this on top of the drawing. Set that aside. I'm trying to. So I got new pencils that are like really dark like this. So this column is the ones that I was using. They were all graphite. These new ones, I think they're like a blend of graphite with charcoal and carbon or something. But they're not only darker, they're a lot less reflective. Hold on, if I can get the angle right. Yeah, because that was my main issue, was the graphite was so reflective. It like, here, let me show you. Here, let's see. Let's look at my previous drawings I've done. So, this bean one, it's not that bad on the reflections. There's a lot of angles to look at it where it still looks right. I used the new dark pencils for the Darksaber blade though. So that's why that's so dark. That too. This one was the worst with the graphite reflections though. This one of Mary Winstead. Shit. Since it's so dark, like look at that. Look at how reflective her entire like hair and like her eyeballs, like half the shading on her face and everything. This drawing is genuinely, it's like hard to find an angle to look at it where it looks completely right. Because this is supposed to be like the darkest dark right here, and like it looks okay there, but that's not even looking at the drawing straight on, so it messes up the proportions. Anyways, yeah, this is what motivated me to buy different pencils. So it's good. It was a learning experience. to draw something with lighting that dark, so I had to use dark shades and figure that out. So it all worked out. A lot of these other ones weren't that bad because there weren't many parts where I had to go that dark. The original Hera. Yeah, this one, there's a few reflective spots you can see there. But you have to get the angle just right. So that turned out pretty good. Thrawn, I think Thrawn has some kind of reflective hair. But I think most of the rest of the drawing is fine. Yeah, see his hair. And his eyes, his nostrils, some too, kind of. All the darkest spots. Yeah, like a mirror. So part of it is that graphite, the darker shades are just like that. And another part of it is it's worse if you push hard when you draw and if you like push hard when you blend. So that's what I learned. This one, the only parts that are really shiny on this are like around the edges of like the background I drew. Because I did go really hard there because I was trying to create contrast. She has light colored hair for Avar Chris. But also like I think you can kind of see how I've gotten better with each drawing. 'Cause this was the first one of these that I did. And I think they've all gotten like a little bit better, so I'm happy with that. I didn't expect to like improve all that much. I don't know why I didn't, but it didn't really occur to me. Oh, thank you, Sheev. Which one do you think looks best? Do you think Thrawn looks best? Something about his face did turn out like really nice. And his expression, it looks like he's like looking down on you and like he's smarter than you. And he's planning your demise or something. And I also like how his eyes kind of look like they're subtly glowing a little bit. But his hair, I don't know. I think the hair might be the worst part. I could have done better on that. It also might have been more interesting to draw his face smaller so you could see more of his torso. But that's fine. That's what I started doing with other drawings now. Seeing more of the character. Pretty soon I want to do another one of Avar Chris. And I want to do Elzar Mann with her. And have them both posing with their lightsabers. I think that'll look cool. Hera is the best. You know what? I think I agree. Something about the way she turned out just looks the most natural in a way. But I like the Sabine too in terms of detail. Yeah. Then this one, it was good practice for shading, but to me something about it, even other than the reflections, something about it looks a little bit off, especially when you look at the reference. Something about the facial expression, I just think I didn't get it right. It's something about the eyes or the smile. I don't know. It doesn't look terrible. It's just looks a little bit off when you see the reference, I think. Yep, okay. Let's go back to Kanan. Oof. Oof. Okay, wait. So I gotta pick out the colors I'm gonna use. Or not colors, but shades. Thrawn and Hera. Thanks. Okay, so... Hmm. 6B is a pretty good darkest shade. If I need to go darker, like a little bit, I can, but... Let's see. I'm trying to look at like how reflective each of these are, too. Yeah, for now, for the darkest dark, do the 6B. With these ones, the HB is kind of reflective. I still might want to use it. I have 4H already for my lightest. Let's do this HB, which is a little bit reflective, but it's not that bad. And I guess 2H. Where's 2H? Here's 2H. All right, let's see how these all just like blend together, just to make sure. HB. It's actually a little bit lighter than I thought. I might need a transitionary color there. Yeah, I definitely will. That HB is like just a little bit lighter. 2H. What the heck? Where does that look darker? Shouldn't look darker. Maybe it's just pressure. I don't know. 4H. Yeah, I definitely need something between those two darkest shades. How's this look? Yeah, that's a good like transitionary color. Yeah, also just with each drawing you learn how to do certain things better and then you're like faster at them in other ones. I've been noticing that too. How well are these gonna blend? And how reflective does it get? How reflective? Wait, reflective? How is it does what? I can't talk backwards right now. Blending, blending. Okay. Kanan Jarrus. All right. I think I do like a decent Yoda impression. I don't think it's like the best. It's not as good as my Gollum impression. But yeah. It's all right. Okay, so what to do first? Hmm. Hmm. Actually, let's not use the grid one anymore. Let's just go to this one. Freddie Prinze Jr. So Freddie Prinze Jr. is Kanan's voice actor. I don't think he looks perfectly like Kanan, but I think he looks close enough to play him in live action. And when he has like the beard and the sideburns like this, I think he looks a lot more like Kanan. So I think he works. Let's kind of darken the shadow areas for now, I guess. Whoa, whoa. So much darker. Maybe I should do his hairline just a little bit to know where it is. Gotta sharpen this one. Alright, how's this? It's so much darker than what I have already. It's scaring me a little bit. Okay, I don't want to go crazy on the hair yet. Just know where it all is.
Goatee he has. Aaron, welcome back. Yoda I am now.
Alright, I'm just gonna darken like around the outline of the goatee. Okay. And oh, what else should I do? Eyebrows?
Kanan.
Oh, maybe nostrils too. Uh, okay, I'm not gonna mess with the eyes yet.
Some darker face shading I must add.
I think Kanan's skin tone is supposed to be a little bit darker than Hera's. Not way darker. I mean, way darker than Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but when she's in makeup, that would make it a little bit darker. Oh, something that I think might look cool. So since the moon is here, if everything on the side facing the moon has just like a little like bright highlight on the edge of it, I think that would look cool. The lighting is actually not the same on Freddie Prinz as it is on Mary in her reference photo. Did we figure out what's going on with Rangers of the New Republic? Oh, it's canceled. Yeah, I think it was like last year, Kathy Kennedy said something about it being canceled, and basically all of the plot lines they were going to have in that show, they're going to put into the other shows in that era. So in a way it's still happening, but like not as its own show. Also, this is Freddie Prinze Jr. from a movie that came out in 1999. To try to get the age right, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead from a movie that came out in 2005. So they were never quite these ages at the same time. But hey, that's what's fun with drawing is I can mess with things and do what I want. Okay. It's a little bit of like Adam's apple shadow there. I don't want to shade like the eyes or the lips yet, because I want to work on those like on their own. But let's add in more here. Do this. Should like outline the lips a little bit darker though, I guess, to make sure I get them right. Yeah, and then I don't know what's going on with Rogue Squadron, the movie. I think the terminology they used was delayed indefinitely, which might mean canceled, or it might just mean they're holding off on it for now. I'm not entirely sure there. All right, let's blend that in. Should I zoom more, guys, on Kanan's face? Because it is quite small here. Let's, is it even gonna let me? There. It's not gonna be the best quality, actually. I can move the camera down a bit more. There we go, that's better. There. Still like a little bit blurry. It needs to like focus on something else. The camera's not very good at focusing on the drawing. I haven't seen that movie, Sheev. I've seen like parts of the first Wonder Woman because I think it was like on TV one time, but I haven't seen Wonder Woman. Not really. Ready, friends of the Junior. I'm not quite sure how dark to go because drawing these two characters side by side and they're supposed to have slightly different skin tones. I don't want Kanan to look too white, you know. But I mean, that being said, um, Freddie Prinze Jr. I think he's like Cuban or something. He looks kind of white. I think he looks a bit whiter than Kanan, but it's not like I'm gonna draw him darker. I think these are probably the smallest I've ever drawn faces. Okay. Focus. I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna do the eyes and lips next, but I need to take a break. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, for sure, Sheev. It's definitely harder to draw smaller. I guess, I mean, I think it's harder to make it look right, but one thing that is a little bit easier is you don't have to draw as much detail, though. So there's that. I'm gonna take a little progress photo. Okay. Yeah, actually, Freddie and Mary have kind of opposite lighting on them because it's coming kind of down that way for Freddie's photo. For Mary, it's coming from this way. So you know what? It's just not gonna make sense. We could just say there's like street lights to either side of them, okay? Because the main light source, I guess, would be the moon, which is behind them, so it makes even less sense. So there has to be street lights in front of them. Since it's like gonna be nighttime too. That's the only explanation here. I don't know, something about Freddy's face does look like Kanan to me though, even though like he looks a little bit different. He doesn't have like the nose ridge that Kanan has. Speaking of which, nose shading. Okay, I'm going to get a piece of paper to rest my hand on. If I am using darker colors now to make sure I don't smudge anything else. Okay. What am I doing? Lips and eyes? Or mouth and eyes? Okay, so gotta sharpen this more. I have to sharpen more when I draw small too, because I need to be exact. Ooh, yeah. Got a nice sharp tip there. Also, like, you have to be careful when you draw teeth. It's really easy to get them wrong and make them look weird. Let's see if I can make some teeth look a little bit right here. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's hard to see because the camera doesn't want to focus, right? You don't really like the Rebels art style, but Kanan looks better when he's drawn. Plus, young Caleb looks good in Bad Batch. Yeah, and I can see. Okay, so Freddie Prinze Jr. He's like in his early 20s here. I can see him looking more like Kanan in the Bad Batch than in Rebels, in a way, you know? Um, I like the Rebels art style a lot. I think it sometimes looks the worst when it comes to faces, though. I think the faces are sometimes the weakest part of the Rebels art style, but I think it is a very good art style in general. I really like how it looks, and I don't mind the skinny lightsabers at all. I know some people don't like them, but I mean, I wouldn't want the lightsabers to look skinny like that in live action, but within the art style, I think it fits and it looks cool. Yeah, plus, I mean, Kanan is supposed to be younger than in Rebels in this drawing. Let's see, I could do some more shading around the mouth. Maybe the like tip of his goatee should go up a little bit higher. Maybe. I can do that once I draw the hair, though. That side of his nose can actually be a lot darker. Alright, let's do a bit of blending the lips. Any bit on the teeth. His teeth don't have to be perfectly white, because they can be in shadow a little bit. You know what? I'm going to get a darker shade. How dark is that again? Gotta sharpen this one. Gotta make sure I don't touch my other hand to this because it has like shavings around there. Nice. Nice. Forgot what the guy's name is. He does some sort of like food reviews or something. It's a bit of a meme. Hopefully his lips aren't so dark that it looks like he's wearing lipstick. I think it is right now, but I'll shade the rest of his face darker. Speaking of which, let's do a little bit of that. Oop. Be careful, don't go too dark. Where'd I put that? Where'd I put my little blending stuff? Oh, there's. Okay. All right, let's do the eyes. You loved the world between worlds part of Rebels. You thought it was a perfect way to introduce time travel to Star Wars without breaking the logic of the universe. Yes, but also I like that for the most part it isn't like really time travel, time travel. Like I don't want them to use it to have like actual time travel stories. Using it to like save Ahsoka was like a cool, like kind of trippy force thing, but yeah, I don't want them to overdo it in the future if they bring it back. Mm, actually, might need to smooth out the edges of the teeth tiniest bit in a few places. Okay, very small difference there, but all right, let's see about the eyes. So, um, the actual like eyeballs area is quite small here. Like a little bit smaller than how I drew them, but I might like drawing them a tiny bit bigger. I guess it adds a little bit of my own style in a way to do it like that. Okay, no. Made them look a little bit wonky. Don't do that. That was bad. He almost looks like blind Kanan right now just because his white pupils. Okay, do I like this pupil placement though? They're not pupil, but irises, I suppose. Do I like? Something about it looks a little bit off and wonky to me. Oh, I think that is definitely part of it. Is this eye? That looks too big. Yeah, like I was saying, I drew the eyes a little bit big so I can actually make the eyelids look a bit more closed. He looks all drunk there. Might be fitting to his character in the book, actually. That doesn't look that bad. Yeah, Kanan has a bit of a drinking problem before he meets Hera. But I mean, honestly, who wouldn't after Order 66? I can't blame the guy. Cheer it, Kanan. Or just Kanan. Season 3 and 4 Kanan. I want to do another drawing of Kanan and Hera after this one. Like, maybe not right after, but sometime later. Where it's going to be them years later. It's going to be like their season 4 look. So Kanan will have the blind eyes and he'll have the beard and the longer hair. Because he's going to have short hair here. Because in Rebels, Hera says he had short hair when they met. Even though the art for the book is not like that. But that's okay. I would rather retcon the book a little bit to match with the show. Whereas that's Kanan in art for the book and Hera in art fit. So their costumes here are based off of that because they're wearing their rebels costumes underneath. Kanan has a trench coat and Hera has like a poncho type thing. Yeah, there's Kanan's trench coat better. Hera's like in the background there. So I'm being both accurate to the artwork for the book and inaccurate. And I'm pretty sure the book actually says that Kanan's hair is like long and tied up or something in it. Okay, let's figure out where the highlights are going to be in Kanan's eyes. That matters a lot. Okay, so like in the iris to the side, where are his pupils? His pupils are going to be like, let's highlight there and there, kind of. I really don't want his eyes to look unbalanced or like cross-eyed or anything. That's the worst. Oh, it's so hard because they're small too. These are definitely the smallest eyes I've ever drawn. He has like a bit of like a goofy expression on his face in the first place here. So I try to draw that. Also his eyeballs are kind of in shadow, so parts of them should be completely white, the most reflective parts, but like not all of them. Alright, I think we gotta go in and get dark now. I think it's turning out pretty good. Alright, we gotta go, let's go max dark on the pupils. Let's do it. Alright. Steady. Stay on target. Stay on target. Nice, okay. Let's do. Guess let's do some 2B. Gotta sharpen it. Yes, Ray Sloan is in that book. I could have drawn her too, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to focus on Kanan and Hera. What else has Ray Sloan shown up in? Is she in the Aftermath books? I have not read Aftermath. Actually, I'm gonna wash my hands because I got a lot of like pencil shavings on them that are very dark. Okay. Okay. Let's just do his eyebrows now. Maybe I could give them a little bit more of a Kanan shape. Like, just subtly, not too much. Don't want to overdo it because this is a stylized animated version, of course. Just give the suggestion. Hey, yeah, I think that makes him look a bit more like Kanan. Focus.
Focus, you must. Focus, camera.
I'll post pictures on the Discord that have more detail later. It's hard to see a lot of things with this. I might have made that part of his nose look like too big. Maybe his nostril should be a bit bigger. Yeah, I think maybe that would help. Make his nostrils the darkest color too. So, Sheev, how many of the books have you read? Because for me, it's actually not that frequently that I come across Star Wars fans who've actually like read a decent amount of the books. So I usually like can't really talk about them all that much. And I need to make sure once I'm done with the eyes that it still looks like he's looking at her though. That's important. You've read a lot of old Legends comics. Oh, you've read Thrawn and Ahsoka. Which Thrawn books? Like all of them? Not a lot? Okay. Ahsoka seems to be a more commonly read one, and Thrawn for sure. I've read the first Thrawn book. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm gonna read the other one soon because I'm kind of reading through everything in chronological order. Okay, so part of his eyes is are like really in shadow. Dude, I actually really like that I added the Kanan shaped eyebrows. I think that helps a lot. It's darker. That might be a little bit too dark. Whoa, focus. You prefer the new timeline over Legends? I haven't read that much Legends stuff. I've only read Darth Plagueis and I've played the Force Unleashed games. I really like Darth Plagueis. The first Force Unleashed is pretty good, but at the same time doesn't fit into canon super well. Um and based on just a few things I've heard about Legends, I think canon seems better. I kind of don't want to say that simply because I'm inexperienced with Legends, so it's kind of unfair to judge it. But just in terms of the consistency of the universe, it seems like the canon universe is a lot more consistent. It's not perfect, but seems a lot more consistent than Legends was. And I need to make Kanan's skin darker in general, so that he doesn't look white. But yeah, canon, it just seems more consistent. It seems more like everything just fits together and is a bit more believable as a universe. Because I've heard some things from Legends that are pretty out there. It seems like there was less control over what authors were writing, and it was more just like they were kind of just allowed to do what they wanted. That's what it seems to me. But yeah, I like canon a lot for the most part. There's a few things um that I think are not great, like Palpatine coming back, but I guess that also happened in Legends. And also, so I've heard that in Legends, the only one of the like um original character or original trilogy like main characters that gets killed off in Legends is Chewbacca, which is kind of funny because he's one of the only ones who survives in canon. It's like Chewie and Lando, and like Luke, Han, and Leia all die. I uh I think it's fine to kill off the characters. I don't think you have to treat them like, since they were the first main characters introduced, like we aren't allowed to do anything with them. And probably like a lot of authors felt like they couldn't because they were George's characters and they didn't want to be the ones to go in there and do that. Which I mean, makes sense. But like also uh I don't know. I like it when storytelling can get a little bit more risky and isn't afraid to take chances. And I thought Han had a pretty good death in The Force Awakens, and I think Luke has a really good death in The Last Jedi. Although I know a lot of fans just hate everything about The Last Jedi. Whatever, you can think whatever you want. It's fine. Yeah, I think Luke died in like the best possible way that he could have died because he went out doing something super epic and heroic and Jedi like. Plus, you have the like the twin sons metaphor. It's showing because like out of all of the twin sons references that have happened since New Hope, I think the one in the Last Jedi during Luke's death is the best because it like actually means something because he's grown as a character from the moment where he first looked out at the twin sons and envisioned um the chance of having a different life and doing something meaningful. And then here he is at the end of his life doing this epic, amazing, like magical force power to save uh, the good side in this war. And it's, yeah, I think it's very fitting. Like, I don't really understand what else people would have wanted. Like, maybe a lot of people just wouldn't have wanted Luke to die at all. But I can't imagine what would be a better death than for him to do this super Jedi-like awesome thing. Like, I don't know what people were expecting. I guess they wanted him to actually physically be on Crate and fight a ton of people with his lightsaber and be like a superhero, but that's not how I see the Jedi. I don't think that's how they're meant to be. That's not very interesting to me. Okay, there we go. This looks pretty good for making his skin darker because you don't want to go too dark. And it's not that I've tried to do this at all, but it does just so happen that so far I've like only drawn white people, so I gotta learn to draw darker skin tones too. Freddie Prinze Jr. is pretty light skin though. It's not like all that tan, as I had said. So after I do this, I'm definitely gonna lighten up certain areas to make some highlights. Yeah, the creators of Rebels, they've said that all of the human Ghost Crew characters are like they're all mixed race. Kanan, Sabine, and Ezra. Which actually, um, Natasha makes quite a bit of sense then. I mean, mixed race. She's Chinese Italian, so that fits in. I actually think he looks like a lot like Kanan right now. How I have him with the eyebrows, the facial hair we're about to add, and everything. I think Freddy looks pretty good like Kanan. I don't know if they would cast him to play live action Kanan like in a flashback in Ahsoka if they have that or something. Which I was thinking about it, they might have a few Rebels flashbacks because if you think about it, like there's gonna be a lot of people watching Ahsoka who didn't watch Rebels, and they might just need to kind of let people know what happened a little bit, you know? So they're not totally in the dark and confused. So maybe they would show like a flashback to like Kanan's death or something like that. I don't know. Something about his facial expression here too just feels like Kanan to me. Focus. Um. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I missed a lot of chat. You're at Sheev. Sorry. Hopefully you're still here. Um. Yeah, the High Republic is awesome. Yeah. I really like also just how you can feel like there's a bit of history to the universe. Like the technology in some ways wasn't as far along then. And I think we're gonna see even more of that in phase two. Cause like hyperspace travel, I think I've heard they haven't figured out hyperspace travel as well in phase two, which takes place 150 years before phase one. So it's like I think it's like almost 400 years before A New Hope. And thank you, Sheev. Um, yeah, but anyways, what was I saying? Yeah. So in phase two of the High Republic, um, the Republic people in it are kind of figuring out hyperspace travel still, I think. Ooh, it would be really cool to see a young Mari Santeca and see how she like started out. By the way, Sheev, I haven't read so I've read up through Race to Crash Point Tower and The Rising Storm. So don't spoil anything from Out of the Shadows or The Fallen Star or anything like late phase one because I haven't read that yet. But yeah, I think it's gonna be neat to see certain things. Also with like I'm pretty sure we're gonna see one of Markion Ro's ancestors. Um, yeah. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm reading through kind of like the main timeline era right now, and I kind of want to get through more of that, at least more of the like original trilogy lead up and during original trilogy books and stuff. Then I'll go back to the High Republic at some point. Uh, there were a lot of issues with the Clone Wars since Dave Filoni basically did anything he wanted. Yeah, didn't the Clone Wars kind of overwrite some Legends things on its own? I think basically before Disney bought Star Wars and Lucasfilm decided to have the one canon, before that, I think their rules about what was and wasn't canon was a lot more loose. So I think um like I don't think George Lucas and Dave Filoni were really trying that hard to fit into that necessarily. They took ideas from it, but it wasn't like what we have now. Oh, that is completely the wrong pencil. Okay, I want to give a little bit of indication of eyelashes, but not like overdo it. That might be too low. Okay, then his eyes here should not be perfectly white. Oh man, this is so hard because it's small. If I can, a little bit of highlight though. Hmm. think I want to go in and highlight a few areas a bit. And I'll do like his ears and hair and beard and neck after this. And I think I'm gonna end the stream with Kanan's head done. Cool, cool. There's oh, The Last Jedi. Sorry, I keep on forgetting to read some of these. I'm sorry, Sheev. Last Jedi is a good movie. The problem is all the consequences of The Last Jedi were erased by The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I agree. Because, like, you go through all the effort of revealing that Rey is a nobody, which I thought was a very, like, satisfying way to answer the question of who her parents are. It just made sense for her as a character, too, I think. And you deal with Snoke, who seemed to be like the overarching enemy of the trilogy. So you kill him off, and you basically it. I mean, Ryan Johnson basically revealed that Kylo Ren is the main villain of the sequel trilogy, and then uh, J.J. Abrams didn't like that, so he freaking brought back Palpatine. Which I think like that devalues Anakin's sacrifice to defeat him. You know, I think his bottom lip could look the slightest bit darker, just underneath it a bit, just to make it stand out. Does it still look like he's looking at Hera? Focus. I think it does, but I think I actually need to darken parts of his eyes to make it look more like that. This part of his eye is basically in shadow anyways. Yeah, I think it looks better now. Focus. Focus on my hand. So hard to get it to focus right. Yeah? Okay, cool. There's a YouTube channel called Sheev Talks that has a video that does a great job explaining how canon worked pre-Disney buyout. Okay. Because I know they had like different levels of canon. Like some things were more canon than other things. That just sounds really confusing to me. In a way, you could say we still have that because like TV shows have been overriding comics a little bit. Like the Kanan comic was overwritten by the Bad Batch, not in a huge way. I'm sure the main events of the comic like still happen, but it just changed things. Just minor like details with how Order 66 happened for Kanan. I think ears has gotten like a lot easier as I've gone on drawing. Ears are not that bad or like that hard for me right now. And then this ear is in a lot less shadow. Also, this one doesn't look as flat. slightly less flat. Maybe I should change it a little though. Might be sticking out a bit too much. Hmm. Okay, I can't make it like too dark. All right, I think that's pretty good. All right, sounds good, Sheev. Thank you for watching, and have a good night, or whatever time it is for you. It's nice talking about Star Wars and Midnights a little bit as well. Yeah, see ya. Okay, let's do... I gotta figure out what his hairstyle is gonna be exactly. Because I think it would be somewhat similar to when he cuts his hair in Rebel Season 4, but it won't be exactly the same. Because he obviously fucks up the haircut because he's blind and he can't have a mirror or anything. So that's why he looks awful, is because he's blind. But I think it looks somewhat similar, so I don't know. Would the sides be that short though? That they would even look lighter? Maybe a little bit. Let's just try things. See what works. Do you think Kanan would style it up, or you know what? I don't think he would style it very much at all, because he's kind of at this point in his life, he's kind of like a lazy drunk. He doesn't really care. So yeah, it might be falling down in his face a bit. It just kind of, yeah, just kind of look lazy. Actually, maybe it would look a little bit more like the Rebel Season 4 haircut, just less janky. Just make it look like a little bit messier, just like uncounted tiny bit, but like not that long on top. Not all of it should be going like straight down though. Should have that messy look. Maybe I should draw like a little bit of stubble too. The rest of his face. Like this nose. Ah, that looks better. I kind of hate his bangs, but like, it makes sense that that's what it would be. Let's try to do like a little bit of stubble, but not overboard it. I like it. It's definitely going with something lighter. I don't know if I like it. Oh no. Well, I guess if I don't like it, I can blend some of it in a little bit. There's always that. Hmm. He does look young though, so that's good. Let's blend it ever so softly. Hmm. I don't think it looks that bad. Okay, let's shade his neck. Oh, Aaron, you're still here. Hello, Aaron. Thank you. I wasn't sure if I liked, and it's hard to see. Maybe if I put it closer to the camera. I tried to add some like stubble, cause Kanan's like a washed up drunk at this point, so he might not be perfectly like keeping up with his facial hair and all that. I don't know. It's not focusing all the way there, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna shade his neck. And after that, that's where I will end this for tonight. About it, which is good because it's supposed to be like, early 20s Kanan. Nice. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it for tonight. Why does it say chat disconnected, huh? There we go. Okay. So yeah, I'll post pictures on the Discord so you can see more of the detail because it looks quite blurry on camera here. And here, let's see the whole thing. So yeah, that's where we're at. We got Kanan's face and everything else is very light still. And we added the Stormtrooper this time, and that's where we are. I think it's looking pretty good though. So yeah, thank you, Aaron. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time that I see you, and have a good night. Madman out. I never say that. Goodbye there. Okay.